And we all agree that yesterday was some kind of an exciting day. Oh my goodness. And believe it or not, there's a lot of positive commentary coming out this morning. It's hard to find a negative headline on Tesla or Elon Musk anywhere. I wasn't looking for them, but I just didn't see any. Anyway, even Sony Sakanagi, he says, he's not exactly a booster or a bull. He says that the vote is a positive for the stock. Well, the stock moved up big yesterday after hours, but then dropped back. And last time I checked, was struggling to stay in the green this morning, just for fun. Right now, yeah, see, it's already in the red, actually, giving up another $3.12. But the market is badly down this morning, so that's probably why. Anyway, one suspects that many are probably holding up their enthusiasm because they're waiting for the Delaware Chancery Court, and Judge McCormick to remove her head from her, to reverse her earlier decision. I misread that part. That is an issue. I mean, just because we got the vote, 77%, doesn't mean that she's going to see it our way. She could possibly continue to be unfair and unreasonable and unjust, and not necessarily in that order. I would guess I would start with unjust, and operate in what I would consider to be an extra legal way, because she doesn't like the fact that Elon's rich. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But the other vote, of course, regarding the move of the corporate domicile to Texas. Texas is reporting on X this morning, we have submitted all filings to effectuate our conversion into a Texas corporation and can confirm right now that the company is now incorporated in Texas. Now, I had suggested a few weeks ago, maybe it was just a couple of weeks ago, that they needed to do just that as soon as the vote was complete, they needed to immediately reincorporate in Texas, not wait for Delaware to give them permission to leave. But that is an issue, and it is going to probably be an issue, but we'll see what happens there. This in the law is called self-help, and the self-help concept is just do it. It's not quite like that thing we talk about with little kids where they say, I want to just do it and ask for forgiveness later, but it's kind of like that, but it's actually a legal concept. Anyway, it's a great move on my part. Now we'll see what kind of legal ramifications. We were reporting yesterday a couple of new shareholder lawsuits with regard to the methods that were used and blah, 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 blah. I think a lot of those were answered by the size of the vote for both of those issues yesterday, both the compensation package and the move to Texas. So we'll see how things fare out over the next days and weeks. Yesterday's shareholders meeting, it was chock, full of news. It was unbelievable. Nicholas Gibbs and I last night, we spent almost an hour trying to make sure we covered all the salient issues. It was hard because there was so many big deal newses, but there was, you should check out that video, and I will put a card up on that later near the end. You can always find it. Of course, you don't have to go to the card. You can easily find it by going to the channel. Elon said that Tesla will deploy more superchargers in the balance of 2024 than all other installers combined. We forgot to tell you that last night. So in case you didn't watch the entire thing yesterday, but I thought that was important. More superchargers. So he said, look, the demise of the supercharger division of Tesla has been vastly overstated. They're still out there putting in lots of superchargers. He said they also, as he reiterated, they'll spend $500 million, just $500 million on that during 2024. It also, that just kind of raised a quick question in my mind. What happened to all those hotels and campsites? They did those deals with several different, with British Petroleum, and I think it was Hilton. I forget all the different companies, but anyway, there was 2 or 3 deals done kind of in a row there. I'm wondering how those chargers are going in. Is that happening? The other big deal was that Tesla is employing the primitives method for training the bots. Now, if you've been watching this channel, Scott has talked about that kind of a method of training the bots. There are a bunch, I can't quite remember the exact number, maybe it's 80 primitive things that we do. We reach, we grab, we point, I don't know what all they are. Anyway, there's about 80 of these primitive moves that kind of underpin all the rest of the moves that we make. And if we can train the bot to do those moves and do them well, then those become like foundational for all the other things they need to do. So that's what they're working on right now with the Optimus bots. They did, Elon did say that they have these 2 bots that are working at the end of the line on the battery line, just as they showed us in that video, picking up the cells off the end of the line and place them into a tray. So that's what they've got the bots doing right now. Anyway, once they learn those foundational skills, those primitive skills, then he said that by 2026, Optimus will do a wide range of tasks, even those it has never done before. You just have to show it and it will copy. I know we mentioned that last night. I think that is the critical element. They're not going to teach it by, standing behind it and moving, not teleoperating. You're not going to teach it by, any kind of hard coding. You're going to show it what to do. You're going to tell it what to do, or you're going to show it a video of what to do, and it's just going to copy you because it will have all these primitives already, these primitive skill sets will already be in place. This is from Evan. He calls himself Stock Market News, 𝐓𝐞𝐬𝐴𝐞𝐬, if you want to try to find him on X. He says that Dan Ives just said he thinks Tesla will be worth more than $1 trillion within the year. So that is an upgrade on the part of Dan Ives. That would be a 400, less than 400, 360, 330, 335. That'd be a $335 price point to get to 1 trillion, something of that order, right around there. Yeah, I agree with Dan 100%. I think it will be more than that. I think it'll be substantially more than 1 trillion if you're going to give it a full 12 months. So June of next year, it could be worth a lot more than that, maybe double. In fact, maybe by the end of this year, depending on exactly what happens on 8/8. All right, I will be upgrading and updating my price targets after 8/8. I'm not going to do it between now and then, but after 8/8, I'll give you new price targets. All right, news. CFRA analyst Garrett Nelson raises his Tesla price target from 200 to 230 and reiterates a buy rating. He says that Elon Musk's compensation plan, seen as removing major stock overhang, if finally approved. Large investors publicly support Musk's compensation plan in alignment with shareholder interests. That was good news for him. Tesla stock up over 10% since approval of Musk's compensation plan 6 years ago. Over 10% since his plan was approved 6 years ago. That's not, I don't know. I'm sorry that I just said that. And then Tesla focusing on our next growth phase on AI and autonomous driving technology plus Optimus. Yeah, this is Gary Black. Listen to this now. Gary Black has been kind of a squishy bull lately. You can't call him like he's not huffing and not scratching at the ground. He's not been the bull that he used to be, but this is what he says this morning. He says, Optimus, market demand for robots, 1 billion per year. This is okay, I'm sorry. Let me start over. At yesterday's meeting, Elon Musk put a hypothetical 30 trillion market cap estimate on Tesla for the end of the decade. He says the math is this: Optimus, market demand for robots at 1 billion per year. Tesla captures 10% market share, price $20,000 per robot, cost $10,000 per robot, 1 trillion in profits, 100 million times 10,000 each. Put a 2025 multiple, that equals 20 to 25 trillion in value. Then autonomous vehicles, 100 million vehicle market at 10% share, 10 million vehicles per year at a $50,000 price, $30,000 cost. It's not actually 10 million vehicles per year. It's 10 million vehicles operating as robotaxis total. 30,000 cost, 200 billion profit year, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, so it'd be about 5 trillion value there. It breaks down, the way I felt that it was broken down is is about a 20 million value for bots, about 7 trillion. Did I say million? 20 trillion for Optimus, 7 trillion for autonomous vehicles, and 3 trillion for everything else. So there you go. Who am I to say it can't happen? This is how he ends it. Elon did it with EVs when skeptics said he couldn't. That should be the new logo for Tesla. Who am I to say it can't happen? Elon did it with EVs when skeptics said he couldn't. He predicted in 2014, I believe, that he would do 500,000 cars in 2020. Then he later predicted that he would grow it after that at 50% per year, which he did until this year. So when Elon speaks, people should listen. And I'm listening, and I think that he will do it. I think getting to 100 million sales of Optimus by 2029 is not even a hard get. And that is what he said it'd be a hard get, but I don't think it's a hard get. I think it's going to be quite easy. All right, Tesla made the impossible possible with Cybertruck. This is Tesla, the Tesla company itself on X today. Tesla made the impossible possible with Cybertruck. Our goal is to ramp production to 2,500 units per week by the end of the year. A lot of folks saying that they were disappointed with that number. Maybe that's the number that they can do given the number of 4680 cells, although the 4680 report was pretty positive yesterday in the meeting. Anyway, I think this is probably, under promise and over deliver. I think they'll be doing better than that. According to AJ, he thought that would give them about 50,000 for the year, if that's kind of the slope that they're on, as opposed to 75,000 where a lot of us are, or maybe even more. All right. And then in the same thing, Tesla themselves saying at yesterday's annual stockholders meeting, the overwhelming award. Yeah. Okay. That's nothing we don't know. Okay. The Wall Street Journal this morning had a poorly analyzed article, but it made a good point. We need a succession plan for Elon Musk at Tesla. You can argue about whether there needs to be a better VP of sales and marketing, and I argue for that, or whether they are making the right decisions about this product or this factory or that factory. But you can't argue any other way that Elon is Tesla and Tesla is Elon. Elon himself said, look, everything else, full self-driving, all the cars, all the energy storage, all that kind of stuff, that's just going to happen. And he will be an accelerator. He'll make those things happen faster by virtue of his presence there. That's his main occupation right now. That's what he said last night. Okay. But on Optimus, it's just not true. He's beyond an accelerator on Optimus. He needs to be there to see that through. He is more than an accelerator on Dojo. He needs to be there to see that through. That he's more than an accelerator on the overall vision. These are just things that we saw what happened when Steve Jobs left Apple. Unfortunately, he had to leave Apple and go visit God, go to heaven or wherever he ended up. The reality is that Elon needs a successor. It can be somebody like Tim Cook. It could be a manager. He's not going to be able to go. There's no, you don't just go out and find a Steve Jobs or a Jensen. You just don't go, oh yeah, there's a visionary out there like me. No, I don't mean me, like Elon. Well, okay, I'm a little visionary. You don't just go out and find these people. And besides that, if you find somebody that's got the kind of chutzpah that Elon has and the kind of vision and the kind of ability to execute, they're not going to be working for Tesla. They're going to be working for themselves. They're going to start their own company. So he needs to find a solid manager, somebody who can take over like Tim Cook and run things. So that's just me. That's a little rant for today. Let's do that. Let's get it done. This is Randy Kirk, by the way. Hit the subscribe and notify. Later today, you will have, I think it might be Brian White, or I can't, they're both ready to go. So it could be Brian White, or it could be Cern Basher, unless there's breaking news, in which case both of those could be put off till the weekend. Also, you want to join Patreon, but if you really want to help the channel, here's an opportunity. All right, I mentioned this yesterday. You can now custom build these. You can put your logo on. You can put your company name on. You can put your local team name on. You can have a birthday celebration and put some kind of special, wording on there. You can use all the colors you want to use. All of the information on how to do that is below in the description. Roughly $30 if you're going to buy less than 12, and just $25, just the regular price if you're going to buy more than 12. And if you want to buy 100, you need to email me and we can discuss that. As usual, you just send the money over on PayPal. The PayPal information is down below. All right. And then, yeah, that's all for that. Let's get back into it. This says, we stay. I didn't mention who this was. I'm so sorry. This is, Deutsche Bank analyst Michael Shu told clients in a note on Thursday, we stay with our tactical long crude recommendations as our expectations for rising seasonal summer demand and lesser step up in supply remain intact. So this is the opposite of what other people have been saying last week, who were thinking we would have a glut of oil this summer. Deutsche Bank doesn't think so. They think that it's going to be the opposite. And the market seems to be agreeing with Deutsche Bank right now. Oil prices have been going up steadily all week long. U.S. import prices declined 0.4% in May, following a 0.9% increase in April. So that was a big, kind of expected, kind of what I expected. I thought that 0.9% increase in prices in import made no sense. Moreover, when you have that much of an increase 1 month, then you might expect to see the numbers come down. Anyway, so a 0.4% decrease after a 0.9% increase last month. 1.5% advance for the first quarter over all of 2024. The May decrease was the first monthly drop since the index fell 0.7% in December. So they've been going up all year, which is odd. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the May and April 12-month advances are the largest over the year increases since December. Fuel imports. Prices for imported fuel fell 2% in May after increasing 4.1% in April. So that was a big part of the headline number. And then all imports, excluding fuel, the price index for non-fuel imports decreased 0.3 after being up 0.7. So that gives you the total picture there. In spite of the May decline, non-fuel import prices advanced 0.5% over the past 12 months. Okay, so that would be like, that would be fine. 5% over the past 12 months. Nobody would be having a problem with that. I'm sorry, let's see. Citigroup also sees a tighter market for the third quarter on oil. I'm sorry, I kind of broke that in half. Very sorry to do that. West Texas Intermediate July contracts are now at $78.93 per barrel, up 25 cents or 0.32%. Year-to-date, U.S. oil is up 10%. Brent, year-to-date, up 7.8%. Gasoline, year-to-date, up 15.9%. Natural gas, year-to-date, up 16%. So all of the conversation about inflation being under control, now I know we're way more interested in that core number, not the energy number, but the energy number permeates the rest of the economy. So when you've got oil and natural gas and gasoline all going up like this much already in the first 6 months of the year, it's going to be hard to get get the overall inflation number down. It just is. All right. Breaking news, University of Michigan consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment drops from 69.1% to 65.6%. And current conditions drop from 69.6 to 62.5. I mean, those look significant to me, but then the University of Michigan's commentary says consumer sentiment was little changed in June. Little changed. 69.1 to 65.6. Why do they call this minor? Well, they say this month's reading was a statistically insignificant 3.5 index points and within the margin of error. Sentiment is currently about 31% above the trough seen in 2022 and the escalation in inflation. Assessments of personal finances dipped due to modestly rising concerns over high prices as well as weakening incomes. Overall, consumers perceive few changes in the economy from May. But these don't look minor to me. Would you let me know in the comments below what you think about their commentary? Is this a political commentary? I mean, are they not willing to say the truth? This is weird. Anyway, they say that year ahead inflation expectations were unchanged, but still at 3.3%, which is above the 2.3 to 3% range seen in the 2 years prior to the pandemic. Long-run inflation expectations inched up from 3.0 to 3.1. The June reading should be interpreted as essentially unchanged from May. Why should it be? Long-run inflation expectations have been remarkably stable over the last 3 years, but remain elevated relative to the range seen in pre-pandemic. Okay, well, there you go. Let's take a look at where the stocks and stuff are right now. We have got the Dow down 301. We've got the NASDAQ down 37. We've got the S&P down 27 and Tesla down $3.20. We've got the Magnificent Seven mixed with NVIDIA up barely, Microsoft, Google up a little bit. Everybody else is down. And we have got the Cathie Woods all down except for one, which is up 8 cents. So pretty much everything is down this morning. Consumer confident? No, it was down before that thing came out. The inflation prices? No, I mean, the import prices? No, that was actually okay. That was good. So don't know why it's down this morning, except maybe the Randy Kirk expectation that there's going to be a sell-off, 5 to 10% on the Dow and the NASDAQ and the S&P, expecting that 5 to 10% drop. We'll see what happens. By the way, Tesla, though, is tilting slightly up at this point. All right, we'll look at one more time before we quit. Forgot the percentages. Let me look at those percentages. The Dow down 0.81, NASDAQ down 0.21, S&P down 0.53, and Tesla down 1.94. Morgan Stanley says they were taken by surprise by the vote. This is coming in just right now. The approval to reincorporate the company in Texas. There are a few precedents we can find of public companies moving their state from Delaware to Texas. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, because Texas hasn't been the place, but now maybe Texas is going to become the place. With Elon leading the way again, being a leader. This is what leadership is all about. All right, let's see. We got to go over here to the bonds. We have got the bonds this morning. Here we go. All data is real time, it says here, but it's there we go. All right, so we've got, oh, man. My information has been messed up here, and so now I can't find it at all. Let me go back. I'm so sorry. We have got bonds. Right now, I'm going to give you the 10-year and see if I can find the rest. The 10-year is down 3.5 to 4.2 this morning. See if I can get the rest. Here we go. Got the rest now. All right. I'm very sorry about that. We have got the 2-year about even, only 0.2% up. We've got the 2-month 0.8% up, while the 10-year is down 3.5 basis points. That gives us a split on the 10-year compared to the 2-year now of way over, yeah, from 4.688, 4.7, yeah, almost 50 basis points. So that is broadening out, and over the 2 months of way over 100 basis points now, like 100 and almost 120 basis points. So now we've got the inversion widening dramatically this morning. Interesting. Again, I wish anybody knew. Nobody knows what's going on, except some people are saying it might be the new normal. We've got oil down 9 cents. Oil down 9 cents this morning, but basically, close to unchanged. Brent actually unchanged. 78 on Texas Intermediate, 78.5. Brent 82.75. Natural gas down unchanged this morning at $2.96. We have got gold up 30, rebounding from yesterday. up at 2,348, still in the middle of its range, recent range, I'm sorry, but very high compared to years. Over the years, it's high, very high now still. Silver up 0.56 this morning, and copper down 0.1 this morning at 447. We've got the dollar. The euro is lower because of the French turmoil. The yen is recovering this after a Bank of Japan update, but so that means the dollar right now is kind of trending nowhere. We've got the Bitcoin up 51 at 66,726. Took a big hit yesterday. And we've got, that's it. Let's go back one more time and check that Tesla reading. Yeah, it's continuing to bounce up a little bit, only down $3.29 now. All right, so as promised, the Nicholas Gibbs deal that I did yesterday, and actually the Cern Basher, I'll put both of those up in cards. So Nicholas Gibbs last night, if you didn't see it, okay, if you didn't see the entire show yesterday, the entire Tesla meeting, then you need to definitely look at the Nicholas Gibbs. We did it in an hour. Or even if you saw the show yesterday, if you saw Elon give his entire presentation, I think you're going to want to hear what Nicholas and I had to say about what Elon had to say. So there's that card. And then also the Cern Basher evaluation that he did yesterday, outstanding, got huge numbers yesterday. Everybody seemed to like it. I'll put that card up as well. And then don't forget, think about what you could do with this. You could buy what you can customize 6. That's the minimum. That's your minimum order quantity is 6. Think about the ways that you could use this with customizing it with your company information, trade show giveaway, all kinds of possibilities, some kind of contest. All right, that's it for today. As always, it has been nice talking to you.